The House comes to questions for oral answer. Question number 1, in the name of Nuk Korako.
Te mana whakawa, tēnā koe. Huri no te whare nei, Māori ora. My question is to the Minister of Finance and asks, what progress is the government making in its program to get better results from public service?
Oh, very good.
Order. Order. The Honourable Bill English.
Mr Speaker, earlier this week the government released the latest results update for its Better Public Services program. These targets were set in 2012 by the Prime Minister, designed to be challenging targets which may be difficult to achieve. The latest update shows we're making progress in some areas that make a real difference, and this is the last update we'll issue before Cabinet refreshes the targets. Benefit dependency continues to fall. We've saved up to $3.6 billion of long-term liability over the past 2 years. The total crime rate for the June quarter was up 1.4%, but overall it's fallen 15% since 2011.
Supplementary.
Supplementary question, Nuk Korako.
What progress is being made on targets specifically designed to improve outcomes for children and young people?
The Honourable Bill English.
Well, Mr Speaker, we know that well-focused early intervention can reduce remedial spending later in the lives of those children who have real risks. We chose some quite difficult targets. For instance, Result 4 is about reducing the number of substantiated physical assaults on children, where the headline numbers show that abuse is far too high, but it has stopped increasing at the same rate that it was several years ago. And when you dig in behind that result, it shows we're starting to connect with the hardest to reach children and families. For instance, those children who suffer the worst consequences of poverty, such as preventable diseases like rheumatic fever, and other progress that's been made is on immunisation, where immunisation rates are up from 84% to 92% this year, and the number of rheumatic fever cases has dropped from 177 cases in 2012 to 112 this year.
Supplementary.
Supplementary question, Nuk Korako.
What progress is being made on Result 1, reducing welfare dependence?
The Honourable Bill English.
Mr Speaker, the latest figures show that around 15,000 fewer people are on a main benefit over the 2 years between 2014 and 16. Those people coming off benefits are being supported by successful programs to support them in work, but in particular to make their exit from benefit sustainable, because historically getting someone off a benefit often meant that before too long they were back on the benefit. Fortunately, in a stronger economy, there are more opportunities for those who are able to work, but I must point out that as we make progress with those who are work ready, then a greater proportion of those still on welfare are not work ready, and making further progress is going to be more challenging and require more innovation and lateral thinking.
Supplementary.
Supplementary question, Nuk Korako.
Kia ora. How does the government's priority of delivering better public services contribute to its other priority of responsibly managing its finances?
The Honourable
Well, Mr Speaker, in a couple of ways. One is that we found that when you get the public service to focus on results for which it is accountable, they're much less likely to come asking for large amounts of money without a particular purpose, and much more likely to be very thoughtful about how they use the money that they already have. Secondly, as we develop the toolkit for social investment, including the use of data and analytics, we are finding that well-targeted early intervention can lead before too long to considerable savings, simply because we can change lives. When we change lives, particularly of those of our children and young people, we can help them avoid a lifetime of misery and the taxpayer a lifetime of cost.
Question number